Hi there, Keane Traders. Let's take a look at the trading action we have and what we have going into the end of the week. This is the trading review. Let's see. First off, let's go with the scalps that we shot into today, and I'll show you exactly what I was thinking and why we did it. What I did is get up and when I first started looking at the markets today around let's say around 6, I looked at the range, and there was a pretty determined range in the Euro USD that was occurring. You can see between 130.40 and 130, let's say 130.15. And to be honest with you, I thought the range was going to break to the downside. But so I just watched the range, and I waited for a break of the range, and then I looked for a few confirming factors with momentum and so forth. And that's why I just chose to go long here around 130. Actually here at 130.50, and then simply just hold the range to the top side. I actually, in my own personal trading, I closed the trade out because I didn't like the price action, because basically what was pulling the euro up was basically the EURJPY. All the other majors were on the down. The pound was testing new lows, the Aussie was testing lows, New Zealand was dropping, and the CAD was moving up to test the 1.0040 level. So it was a contradiction, and but that's the one thing you have to keep having to beat myself in the head, that this year with the new trading year so far is that the same correlations aren't working 100%, and that we have had different breakdowns in different pairs, and they're trading more individually, which actually in the long term is actually much better for trading profits. All right, so anyway, so the trade, and what I was looking for was a push up towards the 134 level, or normally I like to hold trades for about either until we get for about three to 4 hours, or when the European markets close. And I actually sent a tweet that this would be a good time to close right here, right now, and it did turn out to be the high of the current move. And the reason being is because there was obviously daily price support there, and that had been in the trade for almost since I think 8:10, so that would have made it a 3-hour trade. And the trend did oscillate on the scalping for the scalp, and it would have brought in about 35 pips. The other scalp I would have been looking at, or did look at, was the EURJPY, and they're basically the same thing. We looked at the range that the trade had been trading in overnight, and even though the pair had moved up drastically in Asian trading, it had basically shallowed down in European trading, and we looked for a break of the range. A break of the same current range, and then watch the pair move higher. Initially, I thought the target for the move would have been towards 120, and that is where I actually closed out the trade after it moved up to 120.10. And I was only looking to get 50 pips on this trade, and so I closed it out for plus 40. But it looks like it could have held it actually, and could have almost gone up 100 pips on the trade. And it was the same thing. It was a range break, and we have momentum indicators pointing in the favor. So let's take a look, though, more importantly, at what we have going on heading into the end of the week and the majors in general. The Euro USD, you can see, actually the Euro USD you can see is moving up towards the top of its current range, which we all know is between 134 and 132.50, and the cross is in a bit of a wedge of sorts, and I don't play too much credence to this wedge. It's just worth pointing out. And so we have been creating lower highs but higher lows, and everything's compacting a little bit. So we see if we get the price action when it gets up towards the 133.90 area, see what we get. But this is all going to coincide basically, I think, with the EURJPY. If we get a pullback in the EURJPY back towards the 1850 level or so forth, we'll see another pushback down towards the 130 level in this pair in the Euro USD. So this is what we're going to watch in the end of the week. Where the important is going to be if we get a push up to 133.90, but watch the correlations in the yen crosses. And if we break above 134, and I think it'll be short order until we get a push towards 135. So if we get above 134 tomorrow, I think there's a good chance we push all the way to 135 until the end of the week, which would be the 50 fib from 50 fib from the move, bigger move lower lower from the 150 level in earlier in the year at 134.82 basically. Now if we do get a push lower, I would expect just a push towards the bottom of the range, 133, and more drastically to that level around 132.62. Let's take a look at the EURJPY, because this, you can see, is in a channel moving higher. Like I said before, higher highs, higher lows. The pair currently is pulled back a little bit from 120.50. We need a break of the 120.70 level to really push things forward, and we confirm that we could see another push higher into next week towards the 123. But so we could get a pullback here, but I'm going to be watching in Asia, actually looking to push for a move higher, and I'll be watching the range there and see if we get a break higher. If we do get a break higher, I'm going to look for a push up to right about there around the 121.50 level, where we'd probably get a pullback before a larger move up into early next week. But if we don't, and we just pull back right here, I bet the resistance would come in around the 119 level, and that's where we could see that'll be telling. If we get a hold there, then it would favor another push higher. If we get a break there, then it looks like the trend line will come into play. Let's just take a look at some of the other majors, give you guys a idea of what's going on. The Aussie, we all know, it has broken down today and is continuing to move lower. It looks like the pair is below the 104. There's support zone around 104.60. As long as the pair holds below that, we could get a push towards this trend line at 104.20. That's going to be telling. And after 104.20, we get all the way down towards the 50 fib again, down at 103.75. I would bet a little bit of pullback here. I'd like to see the pair bounce back and get a move up towards 105, which would be a good opportunity to see if it's a good spot to go short into. Looking for a broader move down towards the trend line at 104.23. The range is so short in the yen and the Aussie lately. It's hard to trade because it's really just the moves are so slow. It's not really worth the risk reward factors. The CAD we've already talked about. Well, talked about today. It looks like I said yesterday, if we break below this and we stay above the 99.70, it looks we're going to try to push forward to 1.0040. Looks like we are doing that, which is the 50 fib from the larger move from 104.5 to 97. So we're going to watch the price action here. If we get a hold or break here, we get a hold, we can be on our way up towards the 101.40 level. Get a hold here though, look for a pushback down towards the 99.40 level before we can see some consolidation. New Zealand has broken lower, talked about that actually this morning, below the 83.40 level, the 84 level, and it moved a whopping 20 pips here, but it is at its next level of support here in the really short term at 83.74. This is like very similar to the Aussie. It's moving in such small increments. I haven't really been paying attention to it. And the yen pair just continues to move higher. You can see we tested this trend line that I was talking about yesterday, but I was actually expecting a little bit more of a pullback. Now we're right up at the 90 level again, and just similar to the EURJPY, you can see how we're mirroring each other. We need a break above that to establish another higher high. Or if we push back down, we could be in the cards for a little bit of consolidation. All right, everybody, that's just a little insight of what's going on. Good luck trading, and I'll see you probably in Asia. I'm going to be checking out for some opportunities, get in the EURJPY, and maybe the Great Britain pound. All right, everybody, good luck.